Born during the Second World War in 1936 in the tiny Dutch village of Nieuwbeek, population just 2,400, Peter Mies began work as a coal miner at the age of just 14. And in 1960, Peter married his sweetheart, Christina. They then set out on the long journey to Australia, seeking a better quality life. Now, soon after arriving in Launceston, Peter watched his first game of soccer, Launceston Juventus versus Launceston United down at Coronation Park. This would be the beginning of an inspiring family association and love of the club that still continues today. Some 63 years later and 2 further generations who continue to give so much to the club. This is the story of Peter Mies.
Well, as a kid, I went early into the coal mine at 14. I came out and went into the Marines, and life carried on. But in the period I was working, I played for Caesar, and it was a 3rd division amateur at that time. When I was about 17, my coach said, you have to play the last 2 games seniors, because the striker was injured, and because I was the tallest one in the side, that's what I done. We needed 2 points to get into the seconds, which we did. And when I came here, I wasn't going to take, because I didn't think they had normal football here, me budge or anything. So the coach there said, I read it somewhere, he said, take him with you because you never know. So I did. I never forget the name of the brand, Quick. Then I came out here, I never gave it a thought about playing, but the guy I worked for said, hey, they play that stuff you play. You want to go and have a look? I said, yeah, I like to go and have a look. So we went out there at Coronation Park. In them days, they had 2 grounds there, the top and the bottom. The bottom, they built a warehouse now, but the ground was muddy, because every Saturday there were about 3 or 4 games. No showers, no nothing, 1 cold water tap. And the shed we had to dress in had 3 sides, and the frontage was wide open. A guy came to me and he said, I'm from Launceston United. He said, you interested, did you play ever that game? I said, yeah, I did. He said, well, we come after the game and sign you up. I said, okay. But he wasn't quite away. You know, there was a chap from Juventus. He was a Dutch fella, Harry Spies. He comes and he said, I signed you up now. You mind where you play? No. And the following Saturday, without rain, without seeing me, I played for City, I played for Juventus. And it was, in them days, a lot of migrants. We had only 1 Aussie playing in our side, a guy called Hodge. And later on, we got a couple more, like in Hill and things. But we had 9 different nationalities one year in a squad of 14. And I think the soccer individually was better as what it is now, except fitness wasn't there. You know, we had no lights to train under. When it was winter, we went for a run to the city park, and that was it, once a week. And I enjoyed the social life, like after a game. You know, you stay around and all them different nationalities and have a few drinks, and each one in his own language sang songs. You know, it was really a show night. You know, but in '61 we played at Brooks. That ground gave to us as available. And from there on in, we played there for quite some time. And the morning we played for the first state premiership, it has rained overnight, and that didn't look good for our ground, because there were plenty of holes and puddles. And we used to go early and use big patches of foam and drain it out and go on the side and squeeze it, and back we run. But the game went on and we beat Repeat 2-1. That was on the Saturday. We celebrated somewhere up near this where the bike tracks thing. It was Sunday about 2 o'clock, and there were still Repeat players there like Goodman and Rowling and Schutzel. It was more social but savage on the game, but there was no bad feelings after. Things go on, and then in '63 we had to beat Juventus first to play in the final against Ulverston, which they had quite some good players there, Dutch guys campaign, and we beat them 3-1 at Mantello, I think. So from there on in, a lot of boys sort of retired and left for another state, and we have to start building up again. And the first one we bought over was Saville, and Leeds United. He played with Billy Brennan and Nobby Stiles and all them, He was by mile the best player we ever bought in the state. He was as hard as a rock. He wasn't big. It was his passing was like a tennis player, It was beautiful. And now he is coaching. He's a life member of the club too. He worked for me all his life, and I gave him my business when I thought I had enough of it. Then we bought Jordan. He was class, and Ernie Guest, and then his two other brothers came, and they all worked for me until they found a job, $50 then, clear a day. It wasn't alone to reach the top, it was also to bring the bottom from our club and aim for something, because they were players where you could base yourself on. From there, that was after 10 years, I gave the coaching away and the captain. I started to get busy in my own business, and from there on in, I had to hallop around and did on a Saturday. The entrance fee in them days was £2, and it was all different. It was regions. The South had Vic Tooting, who ran the committee there and did it. The coach had Kenny, and we had George Dale. And I think the three, we had a good understanding between the three of them. And it was said, you must have your own ground. So it suited me to convince the president, the secretary, and the treasurer to go somewhere as a combined thing, make a club and the Australian Italian club. We went everywhere. We went to Roger Lee. We went down St. Leonard's on that, before you get to Hobbler's Bridge, that big rise. And then finally we found Prospect. And it was just a paddock, bush, crop, it wasn't even a paddock. And the club said, yeah, Bourdin was the president of the Australian Italian Club. He said, that suits us. What about that? He said, yeah, he said, as long as we got ground, So then the point came of getting it fixed into a soccer ground. And I know Bill Pell, he used to be up Mowbray. He was a Dutch fella too. And he wanted $80 an hour with his big machineries to come. I said, we got no money, Bill. We can't go. So I kept pestering him. And in the finish he agreed. When I paid the fuel, he would come and do it. Buy him a meal and a beer after each day. So he did, and he was there 3 days, and the bank was all bulldozed into the hall, and it was all clay. And we were told, clay is good, the water runs over it, and we walk over it and make it hard. We filled it in with about 8 to 10 inch of topsoil. It took a lot of time to get the stones out of it, and on Sunday morning husbands and wives walked there with buckets and stripped it all off, the stones, and for about 2 weeks nothing else, with a piece of reinforcing behind an old Mersey tractor, getting it all level and seeded the grass. And 6 weeks, 7 weeks later it was the opening of the NPL. So we played Caledonians on the ground. And to make it correct again for a fortnight time, we rolled it, which was a sin, they reckon, you know. But to get the footprints in the mud leveled out again. But it was, keeping the ground was expensive because up till there we didn't get any income. We had a lot of times meetings worrying about should we do this, should we do that. And then finally I came up and seen in the paper bingo. I didn't know what it was. I talked with him, yeah, we were for it. And we had it for about 5-6 years and made good money out of bingo. And then we could look after our ground. And then in the finish, our lease, not our lease, the club's lease, ran out for that particular piece of land. So the council took over. I think we go the right way, but like in any sport, money is a shortage. It's too much emphasis put on volunteers. To me, volunteers are more important than committees. And well, they do the bookwork and the practical thing, but the real physical work, have a look at our club at the moment. We got something like 450 juniors. That's fantastic, but you have to find coaches, managers, people to work in the kiosks. Where do you find them? You know, it's dad and mums have to do it, and uncles do the coaching.
Peter, you've been a part of this club for more than 60 years. 3 generations, yourself, your son Roger, grandson Noah, have all played. What does it mean to you, this club?
Look, the only thing I really have is look at City playing the game. For a Saturday, the competition, the talk, the people you know at the ground. And I think it's special. Of course, the family is fantastic, but they got their own way out. So on a Saturday, I'll be there from morning to night. And let me tell you, 87, I sleep well that night. Yeah. I played against Victoria, South Australia and New Zealand. And Rog played a lot more than me because I got a cartilage operation and I missed out in the thing. And then Noah went and they only had one international game, like national game. A granddaughter, Olivia Leon, she plays NPL in the ladies for Clarence, which now she, in her trade nurse, she went to Cairns. She was a top girl in defense. She is, you know, solid, and I don't think you can play her anywhere. It would be handy forward too. You wouldn't push her over either. I was more a solider player. Like I could close my eyes. Rog was fitter and more technical. And Noah got it all, except he can't close his eyes, you know. Like it's a thing to find people who's got it all is like winning Tats Lotto, isn't it? I mean, it's a proof. Look, Ronaldo, Messi, Maradona, Pelé, you know, and there's a few close underneath it, but not right up there. And I think it's life. It doesn't matter for the sport, work or study or, you know, life in general. I think you be able to reach that point or you don't. And I think I used to go every junior game and watch Rog. I coached Rog up till from 8 to about 14, his team. I think that's the best time I had in football, coach them kids. Whatever you said, that was it, that was law, you know? and I enjoyed that very much. And then look back, there are not many ones went through into the seniors, not on ability, but work, study, girlfriends, cars more important. And I think, but Roch for argument's sake, must get close to 1,000 games and maybe similar the same amount of goals, you know. I mean, I don't think record, he said, will ever be broken at our club. So yeah, I am proud what they achieved. And Noah, like I say, he got it all except a bit more devil. Yeah, I'm well and truly with the grandchildren. They ring me every week, or I ring them, or you know. And I think it's, yeah, if they play football or not, I love them all.
As we wrap it up, I think there's only one thing to say on behalf of everyone at Launceston City, and that's thanks for your contribution to football that still continues today. I know everyone has so much respect for you.
I love to do it for what is there now and what is coming. Keep it alive. I'm a bit early for the game, but somebody might pinch me spot.